Hello, my name is Jarden, and welcome to episode 10 of the Let's Play. In this episode, it'll be more of a podcast style for once, as I'm thinking of changing how I do it, as I stream a lot more, and that kind of ruins the time for what I used to do for this kind of episodic structure. So now, basically, we're going to work on small projects and episodes and have it more like a podcast style. Similar to IBX Toycat, as always. I just think that'll personally work better for me, especially with streaming. This is the fifth attempt at making this episode now. The first three were like originally like the other structure, and the other attempt before was just like a test. So a lot of hours have went into making the 10th episode, as it's important. But I think it's better to have the 10th episode as one where we kind of change the style up a bit. So we're just going to be discussing stuff while we blow up more of the Crimson Cavern, add some moss, and then destroy it for future projects. Just things like that. Let's explode a random piece to get started. Goodbye chainmail zombie. Oh, damn it. And there you go, just how you get chainmail apparently. That explosion didn't do much. I'm just going to randomly place them throughout the episode. I think a change to structure like this is just a more topics I'd like to talk about. The first thing is logo. Lately, I've been very debating what I want as like a mascot almost, because I didn't just want a Minecraft picture or anything like that, but you know it happens. So originally we had the penguin, which worked well as it was unique, and that is technically my favorite animal. Then we switched to the wolf recently with like the art, which I got someone to do, which was really cool. But I'm indecisive as ever, basically, and I'm probably going back to the penguin just because it gives that more unique kind of feeling to the channel. And I think the topic here to discuss is experimentation mainly, because that is what allows us to change and adapt to things. Who knows? Not me. But just try different things, I guess. And honestly, I tweet these generally with polls to see the community kind of census. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to go with my own decision, obviously. But it does feel good to get that kind of feedback that you need. But yeah, let's start off blowing some more stuff up. Because the Cavern's kind of been a project I've taken a little time off. For me personally, the best way to play is to have a ton of projects going on. And yes, some of them might be unfinished, but it works better for me. Now let's blow up these mobs. That didn't really do much. But on to regards of topics with this channel, we've been very lucky to grow a lot, especially since we started streaming. I say we. Technically, it is just me talking, I guess. But yeah, I'm very grateful for that, I will say, because having more people obviously is good, being a YouTube person thing. I'm not going to deny that. I don't think it's crucial for me to keep posting videos as success on YouTube. I don't expect that ever. But it has been definitely fun to see. Explosion. That was pathetic. Let's actually do a decent explosion. Here. Anyway. I think building a brand on YouTube is interesting as well. It's not something necessarily you have to do, but I kind of wanted something like that. I don't know why specifically, but it happened. Let's not blow ourselves up. I think we'd survive regardless, but that TNT is pretty much not going to do anything. Let's see. Hey, that is technically working. There you go. That removes a tiny bit of work for me. Um, In topics, I think I want to talk about in Let's Plays, I think people should suggest in the comments below, really, and I think I'm going to aim for like 30 minutes. Basically, these will be unedited, but at the same time, who knows, I could say something questionable. Well, not questionable, more just like talking for that long generally leads to worse results, or even for this 5 minutes practically that I've been talking for now. Anyway, I rely on night vision, which is stupid but good. It's the lazy way, really, of not worrying about lighting, because the cavern is completely dark. So with the YouTube change to the Let's Play episodes, because it's taken me almost a month to finally, hopefully this will be the actual result that goes out. It may not be the most amazing video, but believe me, after the hours that I've already put in to trying to do this episode, that was a waste of TNT. But oh well. That triggered the end of it? No. But yeah. This duel's not going to be like a direct point or anything. It's just going to be me rambling on, and maybe some people will listen. But yeah, I think the Let's Play is going to be an evolving thing over time regardless, so maybe we will go back to a mix of this kind of podcast style and the edited bit, where we do projects. But to fit what I'm doing currently, especially with the start of the SMP, which I want to focus on, of course, but at the same time I want to focus on this world the most. That is kind of selfish, but at the same time, I want to make this world as best as I can, and most interesting, well, not interesting necessarily, but a better world than I've ever made. I do look forward to the SMP, though, and what happens there. I recently did a collaboration with Jake Carroll and Adorable Ho, which went really well, except for some audio problems, mainly me for the others. I was echoing for them, which sucks. I don't know how that happened or why, but it does happen. And for me, when actually talking in a party, Jake Caro and Adorable Ho are probably about the same volume to me, but when actually editing the video, Jake Caro you can barely hear. Not as bad as Dasha in that one build swap video, but that was kind of fixed with the captions she put ages into editing. Well, not ages, but I presume it took a decent while, and I'm very grateful for that. But yeah, anyway. Skyrim's an interesting thing too, because I enjoy streaming that. I don't know if I just want to stick to that, because I think videos are going to be a lot less than what they used to be, which is more quality over quantity kind of thing. Not even necessarily quality. Well, obviously you want to try, but I think streaming is where it is for me at the moment. I do prefer the end result of videos, I will admit that. But streams are a good way for people to interact more, and I think people have a preference for streams. I personally don't watch much streams. I'm more of a person who's into watching videos, and I think I still want to continue with videos on this channel, but I'm going to try to put more thought into actually planning them out. Whereas streams are just going to be chaotic depending on what game I'm playing, because for Minecraft, that's a lot of chaos from experience. But yeah, this Let's Play has been just a slow compilation of me just blowing up things so far. Like, very slowly and painfully. I think the most crucial thing, though, with the YouTube is finding something I personally want to do, not forcing myself into it. Series are good, because they give you, like, a thing you can follow with. Which is why I think I will always regard the period I'm on YouTube, unless I quit this game for whatever reason, I think this series will be here. I'm not saying how often it'll be uploaded because I have no idea, especially with things happening elsewhere in real life, who knows. But it is ideal for me to have this series just as a way where I can kind of express more individually compared to things like the SMP. The SMP is more of the opposite of this. It's multiplayer focused completely. That's what I want to make my episodes around. I want it to be completely different to the Let's Play and the feeling. So I want to do more things like have interactions on there and the things like the pranks, because that feels more multiplayer. It would just be another version of this if I was just doing projects on there, which I will still do projects on there, but they're going to be community focused or off camera, just because I'm trying to find out what works in the most interesting way. I don't do everything on camera on here, definitely. This series started off with a lot of progress already done from... because I didn't want to switch to another world, and I wanted to stick to this world for once, because sticking to a long-term world is hard, but it is really good to see the increase of quality over the world in general over time. Maybe not quality, but things. Yeah. I kind of want to make the Cavern descent down slowly more of a slope, which I think I'm trying to do with Crimson, towards down here, and it go like vertically that way from there to there. That's another thing. I'll definitely have to stream getting a lot of this material, which is going to be painful. Sorry. I probably won't edit it out because this is like 10 minutes in, and knowing me, I'll be really lazy and just publish this just unedited. That gives you the most authentic speech, though. Like if I'm not saying anything. I think I'm a lot of bit over the time of YouTube. You definitely improve. I think the best way to do that is streaming. Not necessarily for most people, but like forcing. Well, not forcing, but doing that was a good thing for me because you personally become more comfortable with talking to yourself because it's a crazy thing to do, especially yeah. We're gonna blow up the iron. I don't really care. And that was very delayed. It felt. But yeah. In other topics, I think the upcoming thing, as much as this is a podcast, it's not really a podcast. It's still my Let's Play series. I do have an upcoming podcast I'm going to be in with called Defy the Distance with Dasha and Bunkertron, who you may know, not necessarily. But that should be interesting as well, because we're going to be talking more than things such as Minecraft or my own personal things. That is going to be interesting for me, especially as both of them are very extroverted and I'm generally more quiet, except for in YouTube videos, it seems, where I, even like in collaborations, I try to be a lot more loud than I actually am. Which is not me being not genuine, it's just, I guess, entertainment. Who knows? But yeah. Any improvements that I could easily make or you would suggest are always welcome in the comments section. Because a lot of the things with hate that I personally hate, ironically, is generally people don't critique things, they just say, I hate this. And they don't give valid reasons generally at all. They just say, no, I hate this. And there are things in life I think people do hate without a reason, for some reason. For some reason, because that suggests there's a reason. There's always a reason, I think. It's just finding what the reason is and why people choose. Not even people necessarily choose to be the way they are. It just happens. Oh, goodness. Let's blow them up. Come on, Creeper, get blown up. No. Where am I? I am stuck in the dark. I don't have the same ability as Jake Carroll just to go in caves without torches. Or night vision, I guess. Don't worry about the multiple skeletons shooting me. I'm trying to collect moss currently for a new biome, which is going to be interesting. I think in terms of this first episode, as it's more of like a trial run for the whole podcast thing. I think I did do an episode, funny enough, in the Crimson Cavern before, where I just talked about things as well. And people I don't know. There's always going to be a thing where you can't please everyone, but I'm not trying to please everyone. I think don't like a lot of people. Let's Plays aren't the thing they're really into anymore. But for me, this is still probably my favorite series, but it's the hardest to make because I want to make it interesting, but at the same time, I don't know how often. And you don't want to force things, which I have been with the previous recordings, but I haven't been happy with them, which has been going on for about a month, but technically more than that because I started working on the 10th episode technically 2 months ago in terms of projects and stuff I wanted to do. But this is what it ended up as, very different to the original plan, because I was going to do a thing like I killed the dragon, and that would be the celebration of 10 episodes. But so many people have seen that fight done, even as a celebration episode. I don't think that that's unique anymore. I don't think it ever was. It's still something, I guess, important to people in their worlds. But I think I eventually will kill the dragon more, because I need to open all the end portals, or end gateways as you call them. It was really a lot of the things that happened that didn't make it into this is I killed the dragon, I set up a lot of pathways, finally sorted out my portal system, like I just went and placed them in the right coordinates, so now I can get to the end easily. Not everything was perfectly, and there was not even necessarily a lot done. Well, there was, but just certain adjustments and improvements over time, I guess. I also like the idea that I don't necessarily have to record everything when I go on this world either. Which I don't, but I don't feel that same pressure, especially if I do it in this kind of style. We'll just work at a task, and you better not have blown up my beacon. No, they have not. For now, we're just going to grow some moss, because I need it for a future stream slash episode, who knows. In recent news, though, for this channel, it's not really been that much. I know we've talked a lot about it in this episode, just because it's an interesting thing to me personally, especially seeing growth. I love looking at stats for some reason, and it's always interesting to find out like what percentages. Obviously, you don't get a lot on YouTube because a lot of people have their kind of channels privated, so you can't see. Well, their data won't show to your stats, which is just fair enough. I think I do on one of my accounts, just because privacy settings and all, you know, not the worst thing on the internet to have. Moss is interesting, as it's not the best alternative to mining stone, but it's still good if you're trying to get moss. That's why I'm using it here in the cavern, so I can grow a ton, but at the same time expand the cavern, and in a chaotic way. But yeah, I think the parameters of this cavern will be... We've got the ravine area over here, which isn't done. It's going to circle around that wall. That'll hopefully have a bit more shape. Completely circle around there and to there, and that'll be it. But it'll be covered like that. This is a massive project, and I doubt I'll even have it done by 1.18 when the actual cave update releases. Who knows? Maybe I will. I don't think I was inspired by it. Oh, it may have been subconsciously. Oh, I hate creepers. One of the things I find interesting on Bedrock is how many things people pot up with on Bedrock, because there's a lot of bugs and things, obviously. Bug Rock's the name. But just like a lot of features are really different on Bedrock, which some is good, but the majority are like, I found personally bad. Like, I think it was Adorable Ho who pointed it out to me, was especially the enchanting system is broken. And what I mean by that is, well, what he meant by that, but I agree with, is that you get the most BS luck with enchantments completely. Like, you'll get the same enchantment in a row, and there's no way to, like, I don't know, it's just really unlucky, I guess. Just interesting system compared to Java. I've personally... On Java, enchanting is not as such a pain. Obviously, there's other ways like villager trading, which I would recommend if you're playing Bedrock. But yeah, who knows? There's a lot of features that Bedrock should have, and Adorable Ho does have a video on that that's really good that I recommend. I'll link it in the description if you haven't watched it already. It's one of my favorite videos on YouTube because it's completely accurate. But yeah, we're just gonna finish using this bone meal, and that'll be the end of the 10th episode, which was meant to be a big thing, but a new change is a big thing in a way. For future streams and thing, I don't think I'm going to be as active on YouTube anymore, just because there needs to be balance in life, obviously. I don't want to spend hours staring at a screen. Not judging anyone who does. Believe me, I am very guilty of that. That's why I'm trying to, you know, improve things like that. So, streaming, I only want to stream maybe every 2 days, and maybe for 2 hours, and that's all I'll personally be on here for. Which obviously delays a lot of projects and things, but it kind of balances it out more and allows me to do other things better in life, you know? So that's fun. Not for me. at first. Change is quite painful, especially forcing it. There's the moss though. But yeah, we'll still be relatively active on here. I think one video at least a week is really what I go for, but maybe every 3 days I can try release an episode or something. And I don't have a strict schedule in terms of when I release videos. Like, I don't decide I'm going to release this on Monday, I'm going to release this on Tuesday. I used to always release them at a specific time when I was basically posting daily. Like, I'd always release them at 8 a.m. in my time. But now I kind of find it more interesting just to post them randomly. Basically, when it's all done, I release it instantly because I find that more entertaining, at least. Well, not necessarily entertaining, but it's better to get those kind of things out so people can watch them, I guess. Streaming, I'm going to try alternate between Minecraft streams and Skyrim streams. Skyrim streams are a lot more chiller for me, but in terms of what I really should be streaming, probably is Minecraft, as a lot more people are attracted to that. But I don't really care at the end of the day, as long as everyone's enjoying themselves, or at least me, hopefully, maybe. But yeah, in the next episode, I don't know what I'll be doing, but there's definitely going to be streams in between the next episode, probably on the Let's Play world, the SMP, and Skyrim, and maybe minigames. Probably SMP Let's Play Skyrim, though. So thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this attempt at a new video style for the Let's Play episode. Consider subscribing if you haven't already, but please feel no pressure to do so, as that's always an interesting thing that YouTubers try to push down everyone's throat. The end.